Hello and welcome. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. I'm Patrick J. Brown and excited about having you here. Welcome to the Renewal Center Tea Time Tuesday. Excited about having you on with us as we are closing out our month for Tea Time Tuesday, where we pause, where we reset, and we build resilience. So if you're out there, please let me know. Give us some thumbs ups, give us some likes. Please make sure that you like. Let's get the likes up. If you will, only got a few likes. Come on, let's get the likes up so we can engage, so we can connect, so we can have others pause with us and reset with us and build resilience. Make sure you grab your tea, grab your journal, and let's focus on our Tea Time Tuesday. Excited to have you here. Missed you all last week. I know that we didn't have it last week, so it's good to have everyone here. I want to say good evening to all the Tea Time family. If you will, if it's your first time, please go ahead, press the notification, press the like, and subscribe. Subscribe to the Renewal Center's channel, YouTube channel. We'd love to get all the our more followers and more subscriptions so that we can engage more people with our message on pausing, resetting, and building resilience. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Hey, Monique, hello, hello. Hello, good to have you. Hello, welcome all our tea timers today. So glad to have you all on. Make sure that you share this link with others so we can connect, like, and share. Let's get the likes up. Hello, Renita. Good evening. Good evening. Everybody grab your tea. Let me know what's your tea of choice this evening. We're going to just pause and reset this evening. So glad to have all of you on. Hi. Hey, Tanya. How are you? Good evening to you. Thank you so much for being on this evening as well. All right, everyone. I know that we are now, I guess we can say welcome fall, right? Welcome autumn, welcome fall. It's that time of the year to break out with some excellent fall teas. I don't have a tea of the week today, but I do have my chai latte with me today. All right. So I'm definitely going to enjoy that. Hope that you're enjoying yours as well. I hope that you're relaxing and that you're calm this evening because we're going to focus on a few things I think will be very helpful to us as we close out the month of September. I know we've got one more Tuesday, but this is fourth Tuesday. And so because it is, we're going to focus on some things I think that'll be very relevant to you today. We're going to focus on write yourself an IOU. Write yourself an IOU. Improvement opportunities. Improvement opportunities is going to be our focus. And one of the key things that we have been focusing on, of course, this being self-improvement month and also self-care awareness month, the month of September. And so we want to make sure when we say pause, reset, and build resilience, that is also taking care of yourself and improving yourself. And so that's the key thing that we want to focus on today. So how's everybody? Let's do a one-word check-in, if you will. Give me just a one-word check-in in the comments. One-word check-in. Go ahead and let's connect. Let's check in. Let's get centered. Let's get grounded. Make sure that you have your tea of choice. And share with us also, what is your tea this evening? I'm doing a chai latte. What about you? And let me know when you're ready to pause, reset, and build resilience. So if you can, if you're watching, let's get the likes up, everyone. And let's do a one-word check-in because we're going to focus on locating ourselves and centering ourselves this evening. So glad to have all of you that are on and all of our tea timers, our tea time community. So thank you so much for being on this evening. So let's just take a moment before we go into our renewal practices for this evening. We're going to go ahead and center ourselves and let's pause, let's reset, let's build resilience. Oh, got a couple of comments that are coming in. All right, some of your one-word check-ins. Renita says focused. Anybody else? Give me some one-word check-ins for this evening and let me know what your tea of choice is. Autumn is here. Yes, it is. That's right. Welcome, welcome. It is here. All right. Everybody got your journals ready? Definitely would love to see you. See what your one-word check-ins are for this evening. Let's get the likes up. Let me know that you're on, everybody. I know there's more than one or two people, so let me know what's going on. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up so we can connect this evening. All right, all right, all right. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and take a time to locate ourselves, if you will. So if you can get yourself in a comfortable position so that we can engage in our pause, reset, and build resilience activity, let's locate ourselves really quickly, and then we'll come back and start our renewal practices. Just take a few deep breaths and we will get started. All right. We had a few more one word check ins and excited about everybody being on this evening. We're going to focus on writing yourself an IOU. So, if you will, please go ahead and grab your journals, if you will, and grab your tea. Let's engage in our renewal practices for this evening in the area of writing yourself an IOU. So, when you think about the word IOU, what comes to mind when we think about that? When you think about an IOU, when I think about that, I consider it to be something that I need to do that I haven't done, or perhaps I put it off to another day. So I have an IOU, something I need to focus on, something I need to do because I perhaps left it undone. Not necessarily a checklist, but something I say, okay, or a rain check. I need to go back and do something that I haven't been able to do. And as we close out our renewal practices for the month of September, I thought about an idea about how do we engage one another or engage ourselves in self improvement, but also creating improvement opportunities and taking small steps to improve and expand who we are. And so that's the emphasis for this evening is how to write an IOU or writing yourself an IOU, improvement opportunity, improvement opportunities. And so I want to give you quickly 3 steps, 3 things you can do, 3 actions you can take to write yourself an IOU. So go ahead and write that down. An IOU. This is about an improvement opportunity, writing yourself an IOU, improvement opportunities for you. That is our focus for this evening in ways to enhance who we are. And we always start out, of course, with pausing and really resetting ourselves. So I'm going to give you a few things. Let's go to number 1. Number 1, consider what isn't working and making changes to it. Now, I want us to stop for a moment and I want you to think about an area that you want to improve in, an IOU area, but it's not working. Something. Consider what isn't working and making changes to it. So the first thing we're going to focus on to write ourselves an IOU. Now, I want you to consider these are some actions you can take. This is a renewal practice you can take each and every day. This is something that you can do during your week, during your month. But again, it's like a self check-in, to say, I need to write myself an IOU so that I can improve an opportunity. I can create an opportunity by improvement. And the first way we can do that is by considering what isn't working and making changes to it. Now, I want us, everyone, let's take a time and let's do a facilitation type of engagement this evening. And I want you to consider something that isn't working. Something that isn't working and what changes you can make to it. So first thing you'll do, go ahead and grab your planner if you're working your journal or your planner. I want you to write out a few minor areas that you're saying, you know what, this is not working. This is an area that I need to focus on. And the first way is by identifying what it is you want to work on that is not working. And really be honest about it. Really acknowledge something that's not working at all. And once you consider what's not working, then we can move on to what changes can be made to that or to that area that isn't working. Doesn't mean you stop. Maybe you cut it off. What adjustments need to be made in order for you to be able to make adjustments? So number one, writing yourself an IOU is we want to make sure that we consider what isn't working and making changes to it. And many times we don't pause enough and acknowledge what really isn't working. And I think we do that many times because of denial, because we don't see any other way, because of statements like it is what it is, or I'm leaving well enough alone, or this is always going to be this way. And so as a result of that, we feel stuck, or we think that we're stuck and we can't get unstuck. But I want you tonight, those of you that are watching the replay as well, I want you to consider this. Consider what isn't working, and then let's work on what changes you can make. All right, so let's engage here. So tell me about what it is that you perhaps you're aware, you've noted that it isn't working. And then start thinking through, as you're in your journal, what are the different ways you can make changes and adjustments or revisions in order for there to be improvement or expansion in that area. Really quickly, I see this area. I know it's not working. I'm going to need it to grow. I'm going to need to make some shifts. I'm going to need to make some changes in it. So what am I going to do differently? Because if I think differently, perhaps I'll get a different result. Or if I think differently, maybe my patterns and my cycles and choices will be different as well, so that the outcomes can be different in that area. So first principle, first renewal practice is to consider what isn't working and then making changes. What's not working? Why isn't it working? Pausing long enough to know that this is not working. There's something that I need to do differently that I haven't done before. Perhaps it could be a conversation that you're having and you're not getting the results you need. Perhaps it's a cycle of decisions that you're seeing or a habit you're trying to change about yourself, or a decision or a pattern. Perhaps that's what it is. But I think it's important that we pause long enough, as we say here in Tea Time, so that we can reset. And we cannot reset if we're not pausing long enough to notice what isn't working for me. And if I recognize what's not working for me, then I can start making decisions. I can step back far enough to really see what isn't working, or lean into it so I can really understand it at the root level. And then I can start making changes. And matter of fact, even if you can't necessarily make that change, or it seems like you're not making progress, that's when we start being able to get the help or the assistance or the development or the right information we need in order for us to make those kinds of changes. All right, so tea timers, what are your thoughts? Anybody want to share theirs? Please feel free to put them in your comments and in the chat. Here's an area that I'm considering it isn't working. And then here's what I'm going to do to make changes to it. Making changes to it. And can I share this with you also? All right. No particular area that isn't working is too small for you not to work on it. Doesn't matter what it is. You have an opportunity to improve yourself. You're here right now, in this very moment. You can make decisions by pausing and considering what it is that isn't working. All right, so I'm going to give you a few moments to think through this. I'm going to bring on this calm video that we do for Locate Yourself. And what I'd like you to do is to take just 1 minute to start thinking about what it is that isn't working and what changes you want to make in order for it to be renewed and to be reset. Let's take 1 minute and do that, and then we'll come back. And also, feel free to put your answers in the comments. Take your time. Consider what isn't working and what changes am I going to make, and really think through it. So Monique says that the first thing I need to take is acknowledging what isn't working. Absolutely. What stops me from moving forward in this area. Now, the key thing now is what Monique will do with that is she will answer that question. What is actually stopping me from moving forward in this particular area? And then she'll begin to answer all that free flowing. And then she'll start listing things and listing them and listing them. And once she gets it all out, then she can start thinking, okay, now that I see this, what changes am I willing to make? What changes am I empowered to make? We are empowered to make decisions, but the key thing is we first got to make a decision and look at it with real lens and start thinking about, am I considering what isn't working right now? And what am I willing to do about it? So that's number one. Everybody got number one down. Let's go to number two in our renewal practice. Number two is create a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and weekly schedule. So number one is consider what isn't working and making changes to it. That is about dealing with our own internal transformation and improvement. But then number two is about how we manage the time that we have. And so you want to create a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and weekly schedule or monthly schedule, depending on whether you're thinking long term or short term, is thinking through creating a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and your weekly schedule. Now, how important is this? Because what this does is this brings you into a place of empowerment. And I'll give you a couple of tools I think will help you with that, especially if you're all over the place or there's a lot of demands or you feel this sense of imbalance, perhaps. Those are a few things that I want to talk about, and we can facilitate as a renewal practice to help you improve in that area. Okay, the little things that we want to do in order for us to be able to improve how we are engaging our daily and weekly schedule. So again, number two, create a list of little adjustments. Now, what we'll do, because this is tea time, let's take a pause and let's think about what it is in my life, little adjustments. Okay, we're not talking about huge, big things, but just little adjustments during my daily and my weekly schedule that will help me. And when I create that list, then through process of elimination, process of prioritization, I can now make more empowering decisions, and I can make more adjustments on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis. What do you think those areas are? What are the little adjustments that you want to make in your life in order for you to improve? I would encourage you to consider the roles in your life, the situations in your life, because when you look at your roles, our roles change and they evolve, or our roles in life take on a different look or a different way of being, and based upon where we are in life. Like, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a father, I'm a son. I have different roles. And so because I have different roles, I'm a leader, I'm a servant leader. All these different areas are different roles, and certain roles take up a certain amount of time. I'm a friend. So when we think about the roles that we have, I want you to consider all the roles that you have and think about how much time you're spending in those specific roles. What type of adjustments can be made, little adjustments in your daily schedule and in your weekly schedule, so that you can have more empowerment in the roles that you have. I want you to consider that. So we talked about first was we want to think through considering what isn't working and making changes to it. But now creating a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and your weekly schedule. So if you think about it from a perspective of your roles, that will help you work towards improvement. So what adjustments specifically are you going to make? What particular adjustments in your schedule? Really be detailed and concrete about that. Little adjustments. And if you think about it based upon a role or a situation, that'll be very helpful. Right? When you might be a boss or a lead or a manager or supervisor, and sometimes even based upon how we define those roles can determine how we're going to make adjustments. Because even though I might be a lead and I have a team, maybe at that time, one of my team members may need me to just be the role of a listener, the role of a coach, the role of giving counsel, the role of giving vision and direction, the role of creating an empowering atmosphere, the role of setting direction and prioritization of where we're going. Sometimes it's feedback that is constructive, instructive, directive, developmental, expansion, affirmative, positive, all these different areas to help with improvement. Maybe I need to make a little adjustment in even how I perceive my roles in order for me to have a more empowering weekly schedule. It might mean I got to make an adjustment on the meetings that I have. Maybe I need to set better agendas. Maybe I need to make sure I don't have too many meetings where they're not effective or efficient. Maybe I'm not measuring, so I can make an adjustment of how I measure my results. See, those are a lot of different actions that we can take in order for us to make little adjustments to our daily schedule, right? But also throughout the entire week. And if I am able to make those little adjustments, you'll begin to see yourself improve because you're listing out what those adjustments are. So it's not enough for us to say, I need to make an adjustment. What exactly are those adjustments that you need to make, the little ones, based upon the roles and the situations that you engage from a daily or a weekly perspective? All right, everybody? Let me know your thoughts on this. This is making sense. Are you with me? I hope that you're engaging in this renewal practice today. All right. So we went through number one. Number one, again, let me go back to our first renewal practice for this evening. And number one is, of course, considering what isn't working and making changes. Number two is creating the list. And I create the list of little adjustments that you can make, that I can make in my daily and my weekly schedule. What is my routine in this area? So let's try to do that as well. So again, what is this going to do? This is going to help us, again, improve you. We're talking about writing yourself and IOU, improvement opportunities. All right, let's pause here for a moment and let me know what you're gleaning from this so far. How does this apply? What does this mean to you? How does this relate to what you're experiencing right now in the area of personal renewal? Again, this is about pausing, resetting, and building resilience. And one of the ways that we can do that is by engaging in an IOU that starts out with considering what isn't working and making changes to it. That takes a lot of self-reflection. It's self-empowering when you consider what isn't working. Okay, this is not working. I'm not getting the outcomes. I'm not getting the results. Let me make a couple of changes. Let me create a list of little adjustments I can make on my daily and weekly schedule. All right. Those are the first two that we want to make sure that we engage in. Now let's go to number three. Number three is connect with an improvement community of accountability. Connect with an improvement community for accountability or of accountability. So number one, We're going to consider what isn't working and make changes to it. Number two, we're going to create a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and your weekly schedule. Number three, connect with an improvement community for accountability. Now, the specific idea behind number three is, who are you connected to that's going to help demand growth? Who are you connected to? What are you connected to that's going to demand that growth? Specifically in the area that you know you want to see improvement. I'm writing myself an IOU, and if this is an IOU that I'm writing, first I'm creating, I'm looking at what isn't working, and I'm making changes. Then I'm going to consider little adjustments in my daily and weekly schedule. But then, am I connecting with an improvement-oriented community for accountability? If we're going to improve ourselves, we got to consider who we're around, who we're connected to, specifically in an area that we want accountability. And for instance, you might say, I need to really grow in my financial management, my financial investments, the way that I use my resources, the way I grow resources that I have. But one of the things that you want to do is ensure that you're considering what it is that will help you make a decision, a different decision, with the proper community. So let's think about that. And I just chose finances as an area, which means I may need to connect with a community, an improvement community that will help me in the accountable area that I want to improve in. This is important. And I think we need to consider this if we're going to really grow and expand and improve you. We got to think about who we are connected to and what we're learning from that improvement community. An improvement community for accountability. That means you have conversations that you probably previously did not have. Or maybe there's information that you didn't have before that you now have because you're entering into a different kind of subject matter in your discourse, your dialogue, your conversations, your insights. They all become different because you're engaging in a different type of community. So you want to think about what community that you're involved with. That's an improvement community. They don't let you stay the same. They don't let you stay where you are. Why? Because you've opened your life up to a type of accountability, which means I have to give an account, or I'm answerable for my improvement in this particular area, just like in a financial area. That means finding out someone who maybe they might have a better understanding of it. They have more insight. They've got more tools. They've got templates. They've got perspective. They've got wisdom. And so as a result of that, I now have entered into a connection with them, this improvement community of accountability for that particular area. And you may want to choose just one. Like, I would love to be around people who are constantly fit, physically fit, right? So that I can be fit and make decisions towards that fitness, or others who challenge my thinking. They challenge my growth. They challenge my learning. They challenge my character. They challenge an area that I want to improve or expand in. Well, sometimes other people, they have giftings and capacities that I don't have. And so if I listen long enough and become pliable, then that's going to impact who I am. It's going to impact how I live. It's going to impact my results. And then what I say is, can you hold me accountable for my results? Can you hold me accountable for growing and increasing and expanding in that area? Now, they can't do it for you until you say, I need you to do this with me. And I want you to hold me accountable because I'm holding myself answerable in this space to make sure that I'm growing. Coaches do that for people all the time. You know, they play in sports. They hold them accountable for their performance, for their conditioning. Of course, it's inherent inside of the athlete, right, to be able to have that drive, but also there are coaches for that reason. Strength and conditioning, nutrition, fitness, wellness, all those things are involved, and we consolidate them, we condense them, we put them together to where that makes up who we are in a particular area of performance. So again, I want you to think about the community that you're connected to. Is it an improvement community? Is it an improvement community. And there might be an individual within that community. Set up time with them. I'd like to have an appointment with you. We'd be open to have a conversation concerning this. Of course, honor their time. They say yes. Honor them, thank them, show appreciation, those things. But I think it's important if we're going to really grow and going to expand who we are, as we are honoring Self-Improvement Month here at the Renewal Center for Tea Time Tuesday, I think it's important that we pause and we look at these three areas. Consider what isn't working and making changes. Creating a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and your weekly schedule. And then number three, connect with an improvement community of accountability. Three areas, three renewal practices to write yourself an IOU, improvement opportunity. All right. What are your thoughts this evening on our three areas for our renewal practices? What are some of your takeaways? What is something that's different for you? What are you going to do differently that you didn't do yesterday or previous weeks? What is your method? What is your approach to this improving you and writing yourself this IOU, this improvement opportunity that impacts you? My suggestion, friends, will be to take a look at these three areas that we focused on this evening to help you get there. Feel free to share with us today, all right? Let us know here at the Renewal Center. Consider what isn't working and making changes to it. What's on your list that you're going to focus on? Little adjustments that you can make to your daily and your weekly schedule, or who are you going to connect with? Which communities are you going to connect with for an improvement community for your accountability? Would love to hear your thoughts. Would love to hear your perspectives in order to help you and see you grow. As we say here at the Renewal Center, I am renewal. And that's so important that we continue to build this in our lives. We love to hear from you. So please feel free to share those in the comments if you will. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for that. All right. Before we close out, and please feel free to, in the comments, put your takeaways for us. I want to give you a few announcements. Coming up in October 11th, there's been a change in the calendars for the Women at the Well Bible Study. Instead of being October 4th, it is October 11th, same time. So please make sure the second Saturday in October instead of the first. Then in November, we're going to resume a regular first Saturday scheduled session in November. So please mark your calendars and check your emails. If you want to register with us, please make sure that you go to all of our social media sites and our website, all right, therenewalcenters.com, and you can register there for the Zoom link to attend the Women at the Well Bible Study. Look forward to seeing you there. And that's from Pastor Carmela Head. All right, excited about you being a part of that. I also want to share with you that on Wednesdays, we've launched our new Reforming Culture series on September 3rd. And so it is September through May of next year. We are studying the Christology of spiritual formation every Wednesday at 7:30. So we encourage you to come and be a part of that. Please share the word. This is about really getting rooted in the foundation of who is Christ, why is Christ, what is Christ, and what that means to our spiritual formation. We love to have you there each and every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. All right, on our Zoom here at the Renewal Center. Also want to remind you, each and every Friday morning, we do have our morning prayer at 6:30 a.m. That's the Zoom link and the password there. All right, that's the Zoom ID and the password. It is the same one for Reforming Culture. And so feel free to connect with us each and every Friday at 6:30 a.m. You don't have to come on camera. Just come and participate in a time of prayer, a time of centering ourselves in Christ around the word of the Lord. We look forward to seeing you each and every Monday at 6:30 a.m. for our Friday morning prayer. And lastly, I want to share with you each and every Sunday, we have our New You Digital Discipleship. Please feel free to join us. You can connect with us. If you download our mobile app, you can also access the registration to attend and connect with us. If you're not connected anywhere, please feel free to come and be discipled with us. Come and be developed with us. You want to grow in the Lord. Our emphasis here is about revealing Christ and renewing minds, restoring lives, and reforming the culture of the church, the body of Christ. And we want you to be a part of that. We want to share this life with you that Christ has given us. And so we want to share that with you as well. So please feel free to register. All right. Each and every Sunday, join us at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our New You Digital Discipleship. Look forward to seeing you there as well. So grateful for that. And also want to share with you today that if you would like to support the Renewal Center and this has been a strength to you, please feel free to support us. We are a nonprofit organization. You can give through therenewalcenters.com/give. You can also text the Renewal Center to 888-364-4483. We also have PayPal and Zelle, which is the Renewal Center 2020 at gmail.com, or Venmo. You can add Renewal Center as well. If you have the mobile app, you can just press in the give section in the mobile app and you can give that way as well. Or you can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina, 28026. So we want you to consider that, pray about it, partner with us. And we are who we are because we're here to serve you. And we want you to partner with us and consider if the Renewal Center has really helped you, it's strengthened you, it's added seed. You see the value of our mission and vision. We want you to consider partnering with us as we engage in revealing Christ, renewing minds, restoring lives, and reforming culture. So again, thank you so much for being a part of our practices tonight. What's your takeaways? All right. Hope is repeating again here, making adjustments. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Hope. Good to see you. All right. Renita says, focusing on better balance with my responsibilities at home and at work. Absolutely. Looking at your roles and making adjustments there. Thank you so much for sharing that, Renita. Pamela says here, this has been an eye-opening prompt to get me closely review areas that have been a challenge to make changes and to identify those SMEs, subject matter experts, that have the expertise to help me to grow. Thank you, Pamela, for sharing that as well. Anybody else you want to share with us? What are your takeaways today from our renewal practices? I hope that it has been a strength to you today and that you're considering these three areas that I'll bring up one more time. 1, consider what isn't working and making changes to it. 2, creating a list of little adjustments you can make to your daily and weekly schedule. And 3, connect with an improvement community of accountability. That will help you improve you and write yourself an IOU, an improvement opportunity. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for participating in our renewal practices this evening. From the Renewal Center team to you, as we say, I am Renewal. Take care of each other. Let's take another moment to pause, reset, and build resilience. And we look forward to seeing you on the first Tuesday of October. Next week's the 30th. So we'll hopefully to see you on the first Tuesday. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow for our Reforming Culture, or Friday for our morning prayer, and hopefully Sunday for our New You Digital Discipleship. We'll see you next time. And thank you so much. I am Renewal. Have a great day.